One last thing from a PSG point of view, I would question their togetherness, their unity, their team spirit, because as Brian will tell you, when your team spirit isn't good, the cohesion isn't good, players don't have a kind of an affinity or a feeling for each other. When nights like tonight happen and the pressure comes on, if you haven't got that real togetherness, you capitulate. It's teams that really care for each other, that really want to do well for each other, have that feeling, that empathy, that whatever you want to call it, they lock together and they see out that game and they get over the line even 2-1. But the fact that they capitulated, you'd wonder...
So where does that come from, Damien, in your experience and in your view of the PSG situation?
I think a lot of individuals. Now, it's up to a manager to try and mould it and stuff. But when you build teams with... Is Messi 100% committed? Is he there? Is he part? Is he leading the changing room like he should be? Neymar, is he leading the changing room? Are they big domineering characters that kind of do their own thing? That they, if they do organise a team meal, they show up with their own entourage and they sit at their own table and it's very disjointed. They're just small little signs that you see in teams. But when you don't have that empathy for your teammate, Donnarumma made a mistake. Everyone should be like, listen, this guy's dropped us in it, but I tell you, we're going to get him out of it. And he goes in there after the game at 2-1. He gives every one of them a hug and a kiss. And he said, lads, thanks for that. You absolutely saved my bacon. But he's going to be highlighted now and dragged over the hot coals over his mistake for what happened. But I believe that comes out to team spirit, and it's hard for a manager. You see the interview Tuchel did recently, where we spoke about his time managing PSG. He spent less time managing football and more time managing egos and players. And that's what it's about. Players that
it's
cause...
a culture as well, I'd say, within the club where there's interference from up, above the manager, and Pochettino's trying to deal with that as well. Like, I'm looking at some of the players, say Di Maria, who was very good, very honest player. And how was he feeling about... Was he delighted that Messi came in, even though he's a compatriot of his? Was he, because he's the one most likely to lose his place? That's what happens tonight. I'm looking at Wijnaldum, saying, why did they sign Wijnaldum if the manager didn't fancy him? He was there last year, Pochettino. He knew him well. So who signed him? Was it... Did they sign him because, we're getting him on a free because he let his contract run down? How can someone as good as Wijnaldum was for Liverpool in the last few seasons be just discarded? He's on the bench tonight. He's not used. So I would imagine there are lots of egos of players who have achieved a lot in the game, and it's very, very hard to manage. But the most important thing is that everybody plays for the team. You work, you work. Without the ball and with the ball. And that team, they don't work hard enough without the ball.
And the pressure came on and they just wilted. And I believe personally, from my experience, all the change rooms I've been in, I don't know if Brian would agree, but I believe that like teams that don't have that togetherness, that affinity, that empathy for each other, as soon as the pressure comes on, everyone goes, not for me this, I'm just going to drift off over here. And then another point from a tactical point of view is they changed from what they did last week with Di Maria and Mbappe, the piece I did before the show with Messi dropping in. They went back to the flat front three and it just got very messy. Danilo ended up playing right back because he was trying to cover because Hakimi was missing. Messi wasn't dropping back in. Neymar was doing Neymar things, which is whatever he wants, trying to get a handle on him is difficult. And Mbappe was trying to carry. And again, when pressure comes on, you want structure, you want belief, you want, OK, we know our jobs are. They scored a goal, don't worry. A little bit like what Liverpool did last night. Don't worry, we're going to double down on what we do. But they just went the other way. The structure wasn't there. I didn't like it. I said it in the first half.
You said it during the first half and it was all going swimmingly. And you said, I just don't like it when it's loose like that.
I don't like it, no. I don't like when teams, you put the three of them...
There's certain players, you're looking at them, what's their responsibility? Everyone has responsibility when you have the ball and without the ball. More importantly, when you haven't got the ball. I thought... The front players, Neymar and Messi in particular, didn't look like they had any responsibility when they hadn't got the ball. And it was creating spaces for Real Madrid to move the ball.
I still think you need to have responsibility when you have the ball as well, because when you lose it, you've got to be in a good shape, right? And I just feel, I said it, they went back to a flat front three. Messi seemed to be playing off the right, Neymar through the middle, and Mbappe off the left. And I just think that then the midfield get very exposed. Messi does not run back. Danilo had to go out all the time. Hakimi just bombs on. Danilo comes out, and all of a sudden that puts pressure on the midfield. I just think they should have just stuck with what they had last week.
Last one on this though. You talk about winners and doing the right things. So this is a stat from the first leg. So you have to throw Neymar and everything he's won on top of this. But the team in the first leg contained 3 separate Champions League winners, 2 World Cup winners, 3 European Championship winners, 4 Copa America winners, Messi's 7 Ballon d'Ors and more than 40 league titles from around Europe. And then you throw in Neymar, come into the team tonight. A team of winners, historically. So is it the manager's fault?
But superstars don't win games, teams do. You know what I mean? Superstars might win the odd game, but teams win championships. That's an old Michael Jordan quote that I remember seeing somewhere. And if you cobble together a load of individuals, you know, you think of the great Barcelona team, it was still run on the energy of Xavi and Iniesta. Tonight even, run the people like Luka Modric, the engine room, people that will win the battle, do the dirty stuff and really grab the game and lead. Because that's what he did tonight, Luka Modric. Second half, as soon as he smelled a little bit of blood in the water, he just stepped in, took control of the game and went, there's weakness here, and he led that team to victory.
Yeah.